Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. And today, I'll be reading a multi-character extruder by Shy's Secret Rat Uncoded. So let's get into it. Midoriya Izuku. Midoriya was having a hard day, and he really didn't want you to have to worry about him. So, he decided to push you away and was ignoring you on purpose. It hurt you to know that he was ignoring you, and the pain in your chest only grew as days passed by, and he still continued to ignore you. It even got to the point where you locked him in a room to get a word with him. You started crying, telling him that he was hurting you by ignoring you. And then Midoriya broke down, sobbing, explaining how stressful it's been for him lately, and how he didn't want to stress you out with him. And after a while of crying, and the two of you talking things out, Midoriya made a promise to you to never ignore you again. Hitoshi Shinsou. Shinso was having one of his moments when he would not listen to a single thing anyone told him about how cool and admirable his work was. He wouldn't listen because his brain would not let him believe it. He ended up like that from time to time because of how he grew up, being bullied and outcasted for his quirk. He tried to get close to him and say nice things to him, but he wouldn't have it. He finally snapped when he touched his shoulder, and then he slapped your hand away. It hurts your feelings. And before he understood what he had done to you, he had left him crying. Later at night, you were sent a text saying sorry with a cat name, and you forgave him. Katsuki Bakugou. It was during an argument. Things were getting pretty heated, and before you knew it, Katsuki used his quirk on you, causing you to fly back and hit a wall. A swollen whimper left your laps. As you slid down the wall, Katsuki couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe his eyes. He had hurt you. His love. He slowly walked up to you, his hands shaking as he got down on his knees and pulled you close to his chest. He snuffed as he hugged you close and kept repeating sorries to you. He apologized as well, since you had said some pretty mean things to him that might have triggered his anger. You looked up to him and wiped his tears. "It's alright. I'm at fault too," you whispered as you kissed his cheek. Katsuki's jaw clenched as he hugged you tighter. "And make it up to you, for sure." You smiled. Left you my servant for a whole week. Katsuki scoffed and snuffed. "Only behind closed doors." He snickered. "Deal." After that, you both ended up cuddling, and he became your servant for a whole week behind closed doors. Todoroki Shoto. Todoroki and his father had gotten into a fight about his studies and his future, and Shoto was ice cold the whole day, and no one could break the ice to talk to him. He looked too intimidating. You had tried talking to him, but he began to yell at you, his feelings getting the best of him, and he began pushing you out of his room to give himself some space, and he accidentally used both of his quirks, and in one form, he gave you a deep cut with his eyes, and on your other arm, he gave you a small burn. You hissed as he felt the pain from both arms. Shoto came quickly back to his senses, eyes whitening, his lips trembling. He walked to you and looked at both of your wounds. He rested his sword on yours, and he wrapped his arms around your torso, apologizing. "I'm so sorry, Ryan," he said, voice swelled with sorrow. He smiled sympathetically and patted his back gently before hugging him back. It's okay. I'm sorry for not giving you space when you obviously needed it. I learned my lesson. He shook his head. Let's go wrap up your wounds. He grabbed the first aid kit from a shelf and began wrapping up your cut and burn. He then gave you a soft kiss on the lips, and he apologized again. You kissed him back and told him that you forgave him and that he didn't have to worry about it anymore. Kirishima. Kirishima was not listening to the student from another class. As he talked to him, he just nodded his head and tried to walk away without being rude. The student would not let him, though. They were walking down the hallway to where they were and heard the student saying mean things about you. You didn't mind, because you were used to it from others. But what hurt you the most was that your boyfriend was nodding his head in agreement to everything the student said. So you got close to Carrie and stopped him, tears going down your face. How could you agree with that? You asked, your voice tight, and ran away from him. It didn't take long for him to realize something was up. He ran after you and grabbed your wrist, pulling you into his room, and asked you to tell him what it hurt. You did, still upset and distraught, and he cuddled you, telling you that he was sorry and that he really has not listened to them. So he didn't know what he was agreeing to, what he was saying, and that the mean gossip was about you. He wasn't even focusing enough on the gossip, much as who they were talking about. I promise I didn't mean to hurt you. I'll listen more closely next time. Please forgive me. Kirishima cried, and he knew that if he wanted to lie, he would have picked another lie. He was being honest and sincere. He patted his head and nodded, forgiving him because he knew you couldn't be mad at him for long.
Thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I hope you enjoyed listening to this as much as I did making it. Anyway, goodbye.